Right now I'm sitting with the Skillet Boys. I'll let them introduce themselves real quick.
Yep, so I'm Cipriano.
And I'm Tyrell, and this is the Skillet Boys.
Yeah, Skillet Boys, baby.
So I got the pleasure of being here in the studio with them. It's going to be a killer fun time. And I'm also going to be on their podcast. So when this video drops, make sure you go to their page, check it out, so you can see all the fun stuff we talk about too. But this is specifically about them, so we'll get right into it. My first question is, while I personally watch your podcast, can you please tell the viewers a little bit about what it is you talk about?
Yeah, so I guess from my perspective, pretty much what we talk about on the podcast is pretty much whatever we want to. So, I mean, before we even started, I kind of had an idea of I wanted to just be with my boys or whatever, and we kind of just bullshit, shoot the shit.
Yep.
And we talk about, I don't know, sports, fucking just anything going on in current events or anything like that. So it was more like a casual thing for me, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure. It was very casual. It was something that had been brought up before. And with certain things going on in our life, man, it just seemed at the right time, right place, and we all made it happen.
Yeah.
At first, it was kind of three of us, you know what I'm saying? But over time, we just kind of realized, like, it's better off with two, you know? And me and him, we haven't been, like, super close. I was really good friends with his brother. And then we kind of, like, been doing this and bonding a lot closer and shit like that. Because I always liked this dude, you know what I'm saying? We used to work together a couple years ago. And now we're kind of doing a full circle. Now we're back. We're doing a podcast. And we're just getting things done. And yeah, the podcast is just about just kicking it with the boys, going through stuff through the week. It can be positive and negative. But at the end of the week, it should end on a positive note. That's how I always see. You know what I'm saying? No matter what you're going through, you should always end on a positive note. So that's what Skillet came into place, because what we want to do, or what we're going to do from here on out, is we want to make a skillet, a nice meal, because they're going through all the week, and you end that week eating something good, feeling good about yourself to get you through the next week. So that's kind of what it's about.
Good little tradition too for every podcast.
Yep. Something different.
Hell yeah. That's perfect, because then they also answered the second question about kind of why they started the podcast. So that way we can jump to number 3.
Okay.
So, for that one, do you have any idols or role models that maybe have an influence on either of your lives?
Yeah, dude, for me, I guess, just in the podcasting world, man, I mean, Joe Rogan is kind of like the guy, and he's like the main dude. Pretty much that, like, blew up podcasting. I mean, if it wasn't for him, like, pretty much nobody would be listening to podcasting. And I think just, like, that's just a huge guy. And that's who I aim to try to be, like, during our podcast videos, is kind of, like, just emulate him and his energy and what he does. And that's a huge dude that I just look up to every day.
Yep.
Along with, like, other dudes, like Elon Musk. I guess he's more of, like, intelligent, Yeah. But I think it's more just about he gets shit done, you know what I mean? He's like a doer, and then he follows up. A lot of people like to talk about like ideas they have, but not a lot of people actually do them or like achieve them. And I think that's one dude, Elon Musk, that actually talks about what he wants to do, but then goes and does it. So that's just like two people that I really look up to, man, who inspire me.
So the question was, who inspires you? Does it have to be someone famous, or it could be someone personal in your life? Man, what inspires me, man, is just the struggles that I go through. You know what I'm saying? I got a father who's homeless. He's been homeless for the last 5 years. And my goal one day is to hopefully get him out of the situation. You know what I'm saying? So he's an inspiration. He's someone I think about. I keep trying to do the best thing as a father. You know what I'm saying? And just with work, keep my job and my personal life, keep those, tame, so I can just fulfill everything. But yeah, someone that I look up to on like a real personal level is actually his brother, Adrian. He's a little bit younger than me, but the dude is all about that manifestation, seeing through the tunnel and fulfilling all those goals.
Super positive, determined and shit. Doesn't give up.
Don't let negative get to him. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, his brother, Adrian. Shout him out.
Juju,
Exactly.
All right, for number 4 we have. This is a curious one that I want to know what they think about, because on their podcast, you guys talk about a lot of personal stuff, and for a lot of guys especially, there's a wall put up. We don't talk about emotions or certain things. So what was that like for your first experience? Was it kind of awkward? Did you feel like there was a weight just lifted off of you? I mean,
yeah, man. For me, it was just a weight lifted off of me. I've been battling just mental illness the last couple of years, really tough depression, anxiety. And this was some way to finally just get it out there without like feeling like I'm crying about it or without feeling, I don't know. It's just kind of for me. I just like, I need to put this out there so I can get through the things. So for me, that's what it was for me. It was just
like therapeutic.
Therapeutic for me.
It's
exactly.
like a therapy session or something, right?
Yeah.
Without having to pay somebody for it.
Without having to pay someone. You know what I'm saying? Exactly.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's like the same for me, but also like in the beginning, I guess it was kind of a little awkward or whatever, just because I'm not used to talking about like personal shit going on with me or like my feelings or anything like that. It's kind of like what guys do, they kind of just bottle that shit in, hold it in until you get angry and you blow up, So it's a little bit weird talking about it, like, I guess, in front of a camera too, so then everybody knows about it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But it's definitely something like I don't have a problem doing, and I think in the future I'll get better at like talking more about like personal shit.
Yeah.
And like conveying it in words.
Exactly.
Oh, great answer. Thank you both.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, the next one, this is a fun one. Because you guys talk about local events, globally, all sorts of current events, I should say, my bad. Would you ever use that as an excuse to be able to go to fun festivals or anything around town, being based around the cities, Tacoma, Puyallup, being in the whole Pacific Northwest?
Yeah, I think that's our goal. This summer is going to be popping. Tacoma is a well-known area for artists, designing, just a lot of skills out here in Tacoma, and it's starting to bloom. We got really a big glass blowing thing downtown. You got ETC Clothing Design, a really big popular clothing a store in Tacoma. There's a lot of skills out here, and we got a lot of festivals coming up. You got the festival in Point Defiance. You got Islander Festival here at coming up too, or at Wrights Park. And so we're gonna hopefully take these skills that we're learning and take our podcast and seek out people in these areas and bring them on our podcast for sure.
Yeah, that's something I thought about too. Even before doing the podcast was I guess this was a good way to like kind of get our names out there, but it also is a good excuse, I guess, to go out and actually like get into the community, meet people. We could just talk to them here on the podcast, and that's something I would do. I love meeting new people, going out and just being active in the community, being outside, especially after like 3 years or 2 years of the pandemic, man, where everybody's inside, dude. Yeah, right. It's like, man, we got to move on and start living our lives because, I mean, we're only getting older and we got one life to live. So I'd rather be doing that, man, just going out and meeting people. So that's definitely what we're going to be doing here in the future.
Yep. Just bring the community back together, man. It has been distant the last couple of years. I got neighbors outside that I haven't even spoke to, since I moved here. And it's just, you could just feel that border, you know what I'm saying? People are just to themselves, to their own families. Disconnected, exactly. So hopefully we can get connected. Just for ourselves too, help us out with everything. So
no,
for sure.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, I agree 1,000%. Now, this is a fun one. If you could have any famous celebrity, podcaster, anybody at all on your podcast, who would you choose? All
right, that was real easy for me, man, because I wouldn't be doing this podcast if it wasn't for No Jumper. Okay. No Jumper podcast. You got Adam 22, you got AD, you got House Phone. I've been watching those guys heavily for the last couple of years. I'm a milkman, so I'm in a work truck for like 10 hours a day, and sometimes having a real conversation with somebody can go stale. You don't know what to talk about, but you put that podcast on, man, and you just listen to somebody else's story and it just gets you through the day and shit like that. So No Jumper podcast, hit your boy up. That would be the one for sure.
Check him out.
Yeah, dude, for me, man, I could obviously say Joe Rogan, but I think I would definitely love to have this dude, Andrew Schultz. I don't know if you guys heard of him. He's a comedian, but he also has a couple of podcasts, and one of the podcasts I listen to is Flagrant 2. But this dude is just funny as hell, man, and like his whole podcast, he's just always talking hella shit, and I'm laughing, dying the whole time, dude. I just think if I were to have him on the podcast the whole time, we'd just be laughing, cracking up, and just having a good time. So that's definitely somebody like I'd for sure like want on this podcast if like we could get him.
Bro, I'm tweaking out if we get any of this shit. Even if they just shout us out, I'm tweaking out. I'm having a blast.
If you guys are hearing this, you know what to do. Skillet Boys, come on.
Yes.
Make your boys day.
Yes, sir.
So, when you look at the future, what do you see for the Skillet Boys?
It's a good question. It's a real good question. Right now, I think it's just us just plugging these videos in. We had a goal to get about 30 or 40 so videos this year, and that's kind of where our focus is at. We're not focusing on like the numbers, the followers. Hopefully all that comes with it. Yeah. But we just want to put this content out. You know what I'm saying, and stay committed to either every week or every 2 weeks just meeting up and sitting down and talking about this. So just kind of staying consistent is where I'm staying with that right now.
Yeah, I see consistency for sure. But like, I guess in terms of like how I see this podcast in the future is I see us successful, for sure. But then I see us being I don't know if you've heard of like the Skillet Boys.
Yep.
Yeah, I could see us being kind of like a podcast like that, dude. I think that would be fucking dope. But I guess if you don't know the Skillet Boys, they're another podcast. They're just on YouTube, but they're pretty crazy.
Yeah, they're funny dudes.
Oh yeah, they're funny as fuck. But
I don't know if I'm that crazy though. But yeah, they're pretty crazy.
But I'm just saying, like, I could see us being something like that, just being great personalities, having a good like impression on YouTube or whatever.
Yeah.
And just being really successful, having people knowing us, and then every podcast we're having somebody on or whatever, and we interview them for like that specific thing, what they do, kind of talk to them, kind of like get that information out to people, just be entertaining. I like that idea, and I can see us being more like that too as well in the future.
And definitely successful is what I was gonna say too.
Yeah.
We're gonna be successful, but we're just gonna plug these videos in.
Yeah, we just gotta do the work. We just gotta do the work first, man.
Gonna
keep producing. Stay consistent, like you keep saying it.
Not expecting any handouts. One of my biggest flaws is I don't reach out as much, and so me meeting up with Buddy, that was kind of me initiating. I saw he had a brand, and I made that contact, and obviously one of my questions was like, hey man, would you be on my podcast? So those are kind of relations that I'm gonna hopefully get better at, and so that's the goal for me.
No, for sure, sure. And I mean, I need to get better at that too. But I think, for sure, man. Going forward, like this podcast is gonna like force us to like be better at shit maybe that we're not so good at, and maybe like get us out of our comfort zone.
In our personal life, exactly.
Yeah,
that's a good thing. Yeah, that's what
right outside your comfort zone.
Exactly.
All right, now we're wrapping it up towards the end. So and do you have any final words that you want to tell the viewers? Anybody watching that's checking it out, friends, family members, people you don't even know?
One thing that I'm always preaching on my podcast is mental health. You know what I'm saying? If anybody out there is experiencing depression, suicide, anxiety, there's people out there that are 100% on your back, whether it's your job, go to HR, or even your doctor. Just don't feel you're not alone. I've had those experiences where I felt alone. I felt a little suicidal before, and when it came down to it, man, I just realized I had people that cared about me. My family does care about me, and so that's just a big one for me, man. Just focus on your mental health for sure.
Yeah, for me, I would just say, pretty much just show some support for us, And if you want to ever come onto the podcast, man, feel free to reach out. We could always get together beforehand, and I guess kind of get to know each other. Get a feel for each other, and I'm always open to having anybody on the podcast. Like I said, we're pretty much just starting out. Yeah, but we're
dudes.
definitely down to do it.
Sounds dope.
So your message away, message away. In this day and age, you have no excuse.
Yeah,
right, exactly.
Get the DM.
Now, last thing, any social media, anything where people can find you guys at?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram, Chickenhead Poppy. I got that name kind of from Champagne Poppy.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I love chicken, so I kind of switch it up, and I've been rolling with it ever since. You know what I'm saying? Also, you can check us out on Skillet Boys podcast on YouTube. We have a channel there.
Yeah, we don't have like a Facebook or Instagram or like a Twitter yet, but no, we definitely plan on doing that. So I would say just for right now, just look us up. Chicken Poppy. What was it?
Chickenhead Poppy.
Chickenhead Poppy, my bad. And then just look us up on YouTube, just Skillet Boys podcast. Yep. But yeah, we'll definitely be making your Facebook and Instagram accounts as well for our podcast.
Yes,
sir. As soon as they do, the links will be in the video for sure. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So thank you guys very much. That was a blast. That was a dope ass interview. Yeah. Like, comment, subscribe both to me, to the Skillet Boys, and let me know what you think about the video. So thank you guys.
Yeah, dude,
Thank you, buddy, for your interview.
Stay tuned.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Out.